Do you feel like people should be broke?
You're not making at least $3,000 a month and you just sitting in your mama's house, you just sitting with your girlfriend, feeling depressed, feeling broken, disgusted. It's because you won't get rid of your pride. Like, you could just download the app DoorDash and start delivering somebody else's food.
That's crazy.
And start paying your bills off of that.
What would be like one message that you really want to get down?
Execute. You don't even gotta be the smartest person, but if you execute more than somebody who knows it all, you're gonna get results.
So talk about like how much money you have made and how much impact you have made from just using your phone.
Just using the phone, probably almost $1 million. So if I know how to fix my credit, I know how to get funding, I know how to attract clients. You don't know that stuff, or maybe you want to learn that stuff. So if I got the formula, I could just sell it to you.
If someone's watching this right now or listening to this right now and they're not making at least $1,000, what they need to do?
They need to give it to me, and I'm gonna help them make some money.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast. We connect with entrepreneurs, movers, and shakers, people that have information that you need to know. And on today's podcast, I have someone that he's a client of mine. I would say flew down here to Miami. Right now, we're in Fort Lauderdale, and he's been on a run. You know what I'm saying? And not only has he been on a run, but he's been on a run specifically giving out information and sharing information that's going to change a lot of people's lives. Entrepreneur, father, you know what I'm saying? Like generational changer. Zakee Ahmand. What's up, bro? Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, brother?
Good, man.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Bro, so I want to start off with just the run that you on right now. So why was it important for you to hit these podcasts and get your message out there and start touching people?
They need to hear it. A lot of the stuff I'm saying that people aren't really known to have people say. So it's stuff that people really need to hear, and I feel like it's life-changing.
So what would be like one message that you really want to get down? Because obviously, like, you know, you on a podcast, it's going to be 40 minutes, 60 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to share a lot of different things. But if you had to like drill like something down, like one thing down, what would that be? Like what like people even watching this right now, what do they need to get?
They need to execute. So as far as what do they need to get as far as like credit or like just anything in general?
Based on your message, what do you feel like is like if the most important thing?
Execution.
If they missed anything, like they need to learn what? Execution?
Execute. You don't even got to be the smartest person, but if you execute more than somebody who knows it all, you're going to get results.
Yeah, but bro, what about these people that are saying, man, like I need to know everything before I start. I need to know how it's going to play out before I begin. I need a whole map. You know what I'm saying? What would you say to those people?
I tell those people just get started. I'm pretty sure that you know more than you think to get a result. So that's all I be focused on is taking what I know and trying to get a result.
So were you always an executor, or was that something that you even had to learn?
Nah, I was always an executor. I can't lie.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what was like some of the things that you used to execute on early that built the momentum to put you in a position that you're in now?
I remember seeing kids. I used to move a lot, so I remember going to 12 schools. And every time I moved, I would see, okay, how can I make some money out of this school? I'll be in the 5th grade. I'll be in middle school. And one thing I would pay attention is, was anybody selling snacks at lunchtime? So if I would see people selling snacks, I would ask them like, hey, is it cool if I start doing this too? Because I ain't want nobody beating me up. But if nobody was doing it, then I would just jump out there and start executing. Tell Mom Dukes, I need you to take me down to Sam's Club, get me a bunch of Reese's, chips, Big Texases, and we about to start making some money.
So where did that come from?
Being from New York, seeing people hustle.
Just that hustle mentality.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, there's so much going on, right? And one of the biggest things I feel like is always a money conversation.
Yeah.
You know, money and communication, those are the things I would say kind of break up relationships, you know, marriages, families, friendships. You know what I mean? Right now, we're in like, I guess it's our version of what like a gold rush used to be, an actual gold rush. So we're like your phone, Wi-Fi, and a little bit of information, you could take that a very long way.
Yes, sir.
So do you feel like right now people should be broke?
No.
Do they have an excuse to be broke?
No.
So how would you break that down?
If you broke, there's so many ways you could get money. Like, you could just download the app DoorDash and start delivering somebody else's food.
That's crazy.
And start paying your bills off of that.
That's a fact.
If you're not making at least $3,000 a month and you just sitting in your mama house, you just sitting with your girlfriend, feeling depressed, feeling broke and disgusted, it's because you won't get rid of your pride and start doing something like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Instacart, because those don't take no skill. If you got a car, I even used to do DoorDash on a bike. So
Yeah, you can do DoorDash on your feet, bro.
exactly,
For
bro.
real.
So
It's
people
true.
just be lazy.
Is your podcast still not monetized? Apple has over 2 million podcasts on their platform, but only 450,000 of them are active. The truth is 90% of podcasters quit before episode 10, and of the remaining podcasters, only half of them really know how to get money. And they rely on brand deals, sponsorships, and a large audience. So if you're really ready to scale your podcast to 100K, click the link below, book a call, and let's see if you're a good fit for the program.
Man, so you think that's really like a cancer for people, like that pride?
Yeah, 100%. Pride keep you broke.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I remember like, and this is probably kind of a testament to like your execution, but I tried some things when I was younger that I guess pridefully speaking, I couldn't continue to do it.
Yeah.
But I kept moving, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I was bagging groceries,
Yeah.
I had a job for like 2 days. Like I just couldn't do it.
Nah.
Or I got a job at the movie theater. And I was a dude that went in after the movie was over and like cleaned up, you know what I'm saying? Like the popcorn and like everything that they used to spill. I used to clean that up. I had a job for like 2 weeks. I didn't even pick up my check, bro.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. But the thing was, I kept moving on to something else because I know I had to, you know, like you said, execute.
Yeah.
But there's individuals out here where I feel like there's really no excuse, because now you can YouTube everything, you could chat GPT everything, and it will tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I put up this video and it actually got me banned on Instagram for like 3 days. I couldn't DM, couldn't go live, and basically I showed people how they can make 25,000 from doing 100 videos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like this thing right here, this can put you in a crazy position. And I know this is how you help your people, and I know this is how you teach and train. So talk about like how much money you have made and how much impact you have made from just using your phone.
Just using the phone?
Just using the phone. We ain't talking about the laptop yet. Just the phone.
Just using the phone, probably almost $1 million.
So wait. Let's stop for a second. You made $1 million, almost $1 million, just using the phone.
Yes.
What
bro.
service you got?
You want me to give them all of the service I did or what I'm doing now?
No. What service you have on the phone?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Some of my phones don't even have service, so I'll go get a phone and just use it to create content.
So you got a phone right now that has no service, Wi-Fi only?
Yeah.
And you use that to create content, and you turn that content to cash.
Yes, sir.
To make almost $1 million.
Yeah.
You got to break that down for the people, because I already know in the comments they like this ain't real.
Yeah, they never gonna think it's real, but it's real. I didn't do it in 1 year, guys. This has probably been between 4 to 5 years of me doing this stuff.
But that's still. I
want y'all to know.
If we're talking 4 years, that's still $250,000 a year.
Yeah. So I want y'all to know I'm not capping. You can make a lot of money off your phone, and the reason why you can make money off your phone is something I call the gap formula. And the gap is what you know versus what they don't know. So you get paid off the gap. So if I know how to fix my credit, I know how to get funding, I know how to attract clients, you don't know that stuff, or maybe you want to learn that stuff. So if I got the formula, I could just sell it to you. Say, hey, bro, this how you fix your credit. This how you get funding. This how you attract clients.
That's crazy. Getting paid off the gap. You just gave me a crazy idea right now. But getting paid off the gap is that's so dope, because just you showing that statement, if people are paying attention, they realize that there is something that they know right now.
Yeah.
Or something that they're learning right now that someone else doesn't know, or someone else is going to start searching for because they're going to want to know. Just imagine if like you're wanting to get your real estate license. What if your gap was, okay, you got the license, you shorten the window for someone else to get the license.
Exactly.
Right? This is how you do the test. This is what you should, prepare for. This is what you really should actually study.
I seen somebody run it up using that same play.
That's what I'm saying.
I seen him run it up. They ain't sell one house. They sold 1,000 ebooks teaching people how to get licensed fast.
So wait. So break down the ebook thing.
So yeah, ebook. So you was talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
You got ChatGPT. So if you know how to talk to AI like it's your girlfriend or your husband, you can start getting it to cook you up products that can help somebody solve a problem. So I always tell people the solution is One problem, one person, one solution. So if you can figure out how to solve one person's problem, and an ebook is the easiest form of solving it, you can start selling that thing for $20, $50, $100. The most expensive ebook I ever paid was $197. It was just an ebook, no videos.
So you saw the ebook with no
No, I
videos.
bought one for that price.
You bought one?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like,
okay.
You
So
can sell
sold
it for whatever
to
you want.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna play the devil advocate on this joint, right? That same book that you purchased for $197, someone would say to you, "Yo, how many pages it had in it?"
It was over 100 pages.
You know what I'm saying? Because most people would think about the value has to be how big it is.
Yeah.
The value got to be how many pages it is.
Yeah.
The value got to be how many pictures is in there.
Yeah.
But the value ain't that. The value is actually what it is. Because if they compressed that and put it on one page, it was like, yo, I'm gonna sell this one page for you for $197. It still would have been as valuable as a book with 100 pages.
Exactly.
Because if you're shortening the gap, like you said, of me getting the information, you're helping me not only get the information, but you saving me time.
Exactly.
Because I don't got to read 99 pages.
Nope.
Right? I can execute off the one. Right? So how did you start getting into the credit space?
I had bad credit. So I started doing DoorDash. So I tell people to do DoorDash because I did it. So I remember being broke in the house, being depressed while my girlfriend was paying all of the bills, feeling like, damn, I don't want to work for nobody because I already had success doing network marketing, was making $10,000 a month. And that's how I met SBS. We both was in the same company together.
Shout out to SBS.
So that's how I met him. So we both had success, and I started kind of like the company started changing comp plans and all of this stuff. So it was all taken away from me. So I had to rebuild. So one of the things I was doing was just sitting on my ass and feeling sorry for myself and thinking about the money I used to make and how I should have spent it better. But as soon as I got off my ass, started doing DoorDash and started making $50, $75 a day, I started getting my confidence back. And then after doing it for about 2 months, I stacked up $5,000. And once I stacked up that $5,000, I started to invest it in myself. And one of the first investments was my credit. So I remember it was a $47 ebook from Runway Billionaire back in like 2020. I purchased it, didn't do shit with it because obviously you got to pay to play. So that little $47 didn't make me feel like
It was a teaser.
Exactly. So it wasn't because the information was bad. It was just because I didn't invest enough. So that's when more time went by and my credit was still jacked up, and I came across the content of just credit on your Instagram. So everybody talking about fixing your credit, everybody talking about this. So I had bought him 500 course on, I think it was 500. I bought his course on how to fix your credit. I couldn't afford the $3,000 course in my head. I'm like, nah, I can't get the 3K joint. And I should have, because I would have got there faster. So I just paid for what I could, and I used that to fix my credit in like 4.5 months. So once I fixed my credit, then I realized I still ain't know nothing. So I'm like, oh shit, what's next? So that's when I had to go get more information to learn about, all right, how can I go credit card stack? How can I set up my LLCs the right way? How can I go get business funding? And then I kind of just built it brick by brick.
When did you realize that the information that you learned that you was able to, fix your situation was information that you could utilize to leverage to help other people and turn into a business?
Because I paid somebody. So I left that out. So I paid the 47, and before I paid the 500, I paid this one person $1,600 to fix my credit and my girlfriend's credit. And they wasted a whole 8 to 12 months. Like, they ain't do nothing. They ain't get us no deletions. And we were just like kind of depressed, like, damn, bro, we did everything right. We invested in ourselves and shit still ain't work out. But that's when I bought the $500 course after that. I'm like, shit, if I'm a pay somebody and they gonna do nothing, I might as well try this shit myself. So that's when I locked in. We both started working on my credit to see if it worked. Like, she was helping me with letters, and I was like, all right, no, let's do this. So we was tag teaming my credit. Then it worked. Then we tag team hers. And then once we realized, oh shit, this is really working, we like, all right, who else need their credit fixed? So I started hitting up friends and family like, yo, I'll charge you $150 to fix your credit. I got the sauce. And some of them was like, you don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the people who tapped in started getting their credit fixed. And that's what gave us the confidence that, oh, we can actually help people.
What's the importance of someone getting their credit structured properly and just getting it fixed in general?
Your credit is a glitch. Y'all see this right here? Once you get your credit right, banks will throw this at you like you're a stripper. So
Facts.
having access to good credit is something that makes your life 10 times easier than having bad credit.
There's over, if I have this correct, over 200 million Americans that have bad credit. and it's something that's not taught in schools.
For a reason.
And depending on where you're growing up, your family don't know nothing about it, your parents don't know nothing about it. So now you're just creating another cycle of people with bad credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you think that should be the first thing people should do? Learn to fix their credit, or just get access to the information to actually do it? Like how important I guess is it for someone to actually have their credit right? Because this is another thing too. Even though there's 200 million Americans that have messed up credit, I don't know this other stat specifically, so I'm gonna generalize. There's still a lot of people that actually don't have bad credit, but they don't understand how to leverage it either. So now you kind of got like two sides.
Yeah.
So the people that got bad credit, what do you think is important for them, like to fix it? Like, should they actually spend the time to fix it? And then the people that actually have good credit, do you think they should learn to leverage it?
Yeah, facts. So if you got good credit, you definitely want to learn to leverage it because you're going to get your time back. I always tell people, you could have been got started at Airbnb. You could have been got real estate. You could have been bought a business if you knew how to get money faster. So when most people think of getting money, they think of how can I get another job? How can I work more hours? How can I save more? Versus what bank is going to fund my next dream? What bank is going to fund my next idea? So having good credit gives you that leverage to get started faster. And we all seen what happens when you wait too long with opportunities. They go to other people who got started faster. And then with bad credit, you want to fix your bad credit because we all play in the credit game. We just don't realize we're a part of it. So having bad credit is making your life 10 times harder than it need to be.
Too.
You can't get good cars.
Yeah.
You got to pay money down on a bucket. It ain't even a car you want. So they want you to put $5K down on a bucket. Then you can't move into good apartments. You can't move into nobody's house. So you stuck living in projects with roaches or bad property managers. So I tell people, fix your credit because it's going to give you access to a better life, not just funding to start businesses, but also a better life for your children. Because if you can change your zip code, that means your kids are going to go to a better school, which means they might not be in school with all the YNs out here making life hard. So credit is essential. I tell people, if you can get your credit right, pay me, pay somebody else, go to YouTube University, but you got to get your credit fixed.
Do you think it's un-American for people to not understand credit?
Yeah, because there's literally foreigners just like Leo. Leo said he came here from Brazil and he got funding. So there's people who've been in America their whole life that don't know how to leverage the fact that there's banks and there's opportunities. That's why people flock here. So if you're an American and you broke, you should be ashamed just because how many things are here for us to come up.
So people should actually pay attention to like their social and their EIN. Because these numbers can actually create revenue. These numbers can actually give them access to money, and they can start businesses, or they can just change their life.
Yeah.
So your social and your social first as an individual, and then getting access to an EIN are things that people actually should be putting into play.
Yeah, 100%.
Like for real.
Yeah. You could get a lot of people tell you could get funding just using your EIN, which is true and false. You could get certain types of funding with your EIN. So like you could get store credit. You could probably get business cards under your EIN. But with your social, that's what the banks really want to see, especially if your business not making money. So if you already got at least a 680 to 700 credit score and a couple other data points, banks will throw money at you even if your business isn't generating any revenue.
So what do you think about, I read this on the gram. I saw this post where they said Trump, Elon, thinking about giving people 5K, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like it would be the new PPP, you know what I mean? Because they're uncovering all this money that the government has been, poorly allocating prior to them being in office. If someone got access to that 5,000, I got bad credit. What would be something I would need to do to get out of bad credit? I got the 5K, so the 5K came in.
Do they want to pay somebody or learn?
It's the new stimmy. I mean, give me the fastest way, I guess.
The fastest way, it depends on who you buying from. So
Gotcha.
if you buy some stuff from me, we got some sauce that might help you get it done fast. But if you buy from other people, I don't know how fast your stuff gonna work. But you got two options. You can do the ebook option. You can buy a course, or you can just pay somebody to do it for you. So I would tell people to try all three. That's what I did. I bought the ebook. I tried that. I bought a course. I tried that, and I also paid somebody, and I tried that. So try everything.
So the first step, you would say someone would need to, if you get this money, you should invest in fixing your credit.
Yeah.
So credit is fixed. What would be step two?
Step two, you want to establish a business. So figure out how you're going to use your credit, Well, first, step 2 would be building your credit. Because fixed in credit and built credit are 2 different things.
So credit is fixed.
Yeah.
Step 2, we building it.
We got to build it.
Okay, boom. Step 3.
Now we got to establish some banking relationships after we get our LLC set up. So we set up our LLC and start setting up banking relationships. That's step 3. Do it at the same time.
All right, so we got the credits fixed.
Yep.
Right. We got it obviously structured properly. Right. Now we're gonna get the relationships with the banks. What's after that?
Get funding.
What am I gonna do with this funding?
Many things. You can
Because a lot of people using it.
forget that if you just learned and you just went through this process, you can help other people go through the same process. Now you can
That's
get
a
paid
fact.
off the gap.
That's the gap.
So if you don't got no play, that's the play for you.
So the play is find your gap.
Exactly.
Bro, okay, cool. All right, so answer this for me. We got access to the money. Now, I always wanted a watch. I always wanted a chain. I always wanted an apartment. I always wanted to go on a trip. You know, I want to take my girl out. Should that be my next play?
Hell no.
So, but I just got access to 20, 30,000.
That's why most people got bad credit making those kind of decisions.
So what should I be doing?
You want to use your credit to make money.
Got
So
you.
instead of using your credit the way they taught us was in case of emergencies, you want to use your credit on opportunities.
But what if I can, if I got 20, 30,000, I can just crash out, right? And then just do it over.
Nah, you can't. You're gonna burn your relationships. So like some people did that with Chase. You saw people going to Chase and finessing their Chase account, but now they can never go get funding from them. So like Chase is one of the best banks to go to because they give you funding without having to see tax returns, bank statements, and proof of income. So I'm getting my clients $50K, $60K, $100,000 just from them. So I always tell people like, this bank is your family. Why would you do them dirty? You know what I'm saying? So treat them like you would treat your family. Treat them better than family because family ain't never give you this funding.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Family ain't giving you no bread.
No,
It might be like 1, 2 family members might give you the bread.
not 100,000 though.
It's gonna be. Well, you know what? Grandma would give it to you. She
Yeah,
had it for
grandma
sure.
definitely would.
Grandma giving it to you. My cousin definitely give me some bread. But let's say those 2 people.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you got family trying to borrow money from you and they ain't never giving it back. So I'm with you on that. So yeah, I would definitely treat them. I would treat them for sure better than family.
I always tell people before you loan any family any money, make sure you look at their credit report. If your cousin got late payments, he ain't gonna pay back on time.
He's not.
If your auntie got collections, she's not gonna pay back at all. So never loan people money without looking at their credit karma.
That's a fact. That's actually a good one. So listen, you got a family member before they ask you to borrow some bread, ask them to see that credit karma.
Straight up.
That's a fact.
I don't loan nobody money unless I see their credit.
Woo, yo, I'm gonna start doing that. That's real. But really at this point, there's only like, I would say I got like 2 family members that would ask me for money occasionally, but consistently. One of them always pay back on time. The other one is a little, their payback is a little delayed.
Yeah.
They pay it back, but they stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that. I think that would definitely help you out. But yeah, those relationships with those financial institutions is a really big deal because you can always grow your funding access.
Yes.
So like so you said earlier you're helping people get access to up to 100,000.
We help them get more, but just from that bank. So we can help people get 200, 300. It's just about the banking relationships they already got set up mixed with the ones we got set up.
Got you. So okay, so you kind of took us to the steps. Now I got access to the money. What am I doing with the money? Because you already told me that I shouldn't be buying these liabilities. So what should I be doing with the money? How can I use this money I got from the banks, this credit, you know what I'm saying, to help me make money?
It's called the OPM strategy. So you're going to use other people's money to start building wealth for yourself. Everybody Google people net worth and they don't even know how it's calculated. It's calculated through assets. So what you want to start doing is buying assets, buy rental properties, buy anything you can. Like me and one of my business partners, I helped her get $120,000 in funding. I said, oh shit, you got funding? I got funding too. Now we started partnering on deals. So we got a duplex out in South Carolina that we got off market for $20,000. I used a Chase card. She used a Chase card. 0% interest.
So you bought the property, 0% interest, no money out of your pocket, no money out of her pocket, and it's other people's money and it's 0% interest. So you're paying that credit card back a couple $100 a month.
Yes, 100. So it's 1% of whatever you use. So that $10,000 cost me $100 a month.
That's crazy. And there's no interest for what, 12 months?
12 months.
And then you collaborate on the deal.
Exactly.
Bro, they ain't teaching this.
They don't want us to know this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So this is what you teach the people in your program that you help.
Yep.
So after you help them actually, fix their credit situation, and then you get their LLC structured property, and then you get them access to funding, you then are helping them invest in businesses or start businesses so they can put that money into motion and get a return.
Yes, sir.
How many people have you helped so far?
Thousands, like I told Leo, thousands, low ticket, and probably about 60 people, 60 to 70 people, kind of like mid high ticket.
Yeah. How are you getting the information out to the people?
Content. Like my inner circle people, or like just random people.
Just random people.
Oh, content. I be giving out so much game on social media. If you go
so
follow me right now,
we're going back to this.
Yeah. If they go follow me right now, they can learn something.
Yeah. So again, all right. So you've helped thousands of people. I'm going back to this.
Yep.
And you help, close to 100 people, I would say, in person. But it all goes back to this. So using the information and the content to connect with people, giving them the information so they could change their situation, and then you give them an opportunity to invest in themselves by tapping in with you.
Yes, sir.
From as low as an ebook up to like an inner circle or a coaching situation, and then you giving them the information that will help them literally change the situation.
Yeah.
But why would anyone not want to do that?
Belief.
Break that down.
So most people don't believe it's gonna work for them, so they rather just make excuses and watching other people win.
Damn, we gotta sit on that for a second. Bro.
Yeah.
We gotta sit on that for a second, because now we're talking about one of the biggest roadblocks, which is really yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So like, not only could your credit be preventing you from changing your situation,
It's you. Yeah. Most people got bad credit and bad spirit.
Damn, bro. So talk to me about that bad spirit.
So they kind of like, they got stinking thinking. They always think of bad stuff gonna happen. They don't know how to look at the good in situations. I always tell people, like, whatever you tune into, you turn into. And they always tune in the negative shit. They watch VH1. They watching Pop the Balloon. They watching all of these things that keep them feeling like they're better than other people, because they're looking at the worst case scenario, versus getting in rooms just like this, getting around the people making the money, getting around the people that's going to stretch their thinking and make them feel like, damn, I can do it, but I got to become a better person to get it.
Bro, you just hit me with a couple of things, and then you just made me think. So let's talk about this mindset a little bit more. So we gotta separate the credit, separate the funding for a second. Someone is preventing themselves from moving forward because of the mindset. What are some of the things they should start doing to start getting some clarity around becoming the person that they need to become, so they can, execute, as you were talking about earlier, on the things that's going to really change their life?
Yeah. First thing I gotta probably do, if they probably smoke a weed. So when you smoke weed, the only thing you do is you got too much time to think. So you start thinking about all your problems. You start thinking about how things could have been better. So I tell people, stop smoking, especially if it's kind of making you feel bad. And the next thing you want to do is go to the library, find some books, find whatever section that you want to be in, whether that's business, that's accounting, that's content, that's real estate. They have all of these books in there for free. I was literally just in the library in South Carolina, and the only people in there
was you and the people that worked there.
No, were homeless people.
Oh, word?
So they were homeless people in there searching for jobs and trying to better their situation versus people that already got something that just want a little bit more.
People don't even know what libraries are, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That joint was state of the art too. Like they had MacBooks in there. Like I'm like, hold on, I'm about to come here every day.
I feel like the libraries are probably like state or government funded. So like they gotta allocate the bread. So that's why like they there.
Yeah.
But people ain't really going to the libraries. Like
people don't even realize, like, I came up off the library. I remember when I was living in Vegas, I was broke. Like, I was telling Leo the story, like, how me and my girl went from sleeping in cars to staying at weekly spots.
First of all, you had a girl that slept in the car with you. She definitely a rider.
That's why she don't work no more. She get paid to just take care of our baby.
100%. I mean, my man just said, you already know the climate we in right now. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But you had a girl that was down for you and saw the vision, and she was willing to sleep in the car with you.
Yeah, that's why I'm loyal.
Go through the journey.
I'm loyal. I see all the butt cheeks on Instagram. I scroll right past them.
Yeah. Them Instagram butt cheeks ain't about nothing.
Nah, they not. Most of them fake.
Yeah, facts. 100%. So you watching fake. You watching like the video, which is fake, and then you watching some actual fake.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you, right? So I came up off the library. Like me and my girl, We went from being sleeping in cars to sleeping at a weekly spot. And while we was at that weekly spot, we had free phones. So we had free phones. Like, we was really down bad. So we had free phones. But what happened was we found out the library gave you a little hotspot. So they gave you an unlimited Wi-Fi hotspot, but they would give it to you for only 21 days at a time.
Got you.
So once we realized this, we was like, oh shit, now we could start growing our businesses, because the place we were staying had the slowest internet in the world. It was garbage. We could not do nothing in there. And we ain't have no cell phones. Like, we had iPhones, but they ain't had no service on them. So we had to get the free phones to call family and to keep in contact with each other for real. So that's when we would have the free Wi-Fi out at 21 days at a time. So what happens is I would have the Wi-Fi out, and then my girlfriend would reserve it next. So when I'm handing it in, she picking it up. So we did that shit for 8 months, bro. And we built a resume business where it was generating us anywhere from about $5,000 to $8,000 a month. And literally, I'll tell people, there's so many resources out here that they just sleeping on, because we was making $5K a month using free Wi-Fi and free phone. She doing sales calls on the free phone, and we using Wi-Fi from the library. So that's why I talk about doing DoorDash. I talk about going to the library, because I literally use those two things to come up.
Well, one thing that I got out of that, man, is just the collaboration.
Yeah.
The partnership. You know, and I think obviously there's nothing wrong with like a single person out here just focused doing your thing. But when you have someone that you can collaborate with and have a partnership, and y'all have the vision, or one person has the vision and the other person's down with the vision, you can move super fast, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's really a cheat code.
Nah, facts. Having somebody who got the right mindset, that's willing to invest not only their money but their time into the partnership, it's a blueprint. Because now, even though I'm successful, I'm helping my girl become successful in her own way too by investing in her. So I bought her a stock trading course. So now she be trading futures, and now she got a funded account just because I invested the money that she invested in me before. I invested it back into her.
Yeah, that's crazy. So now she's gonna be learning that. You'll continue to do the thing that you have going on, helping people with credit funding, and you also help people with digital products as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk about that a little bit, because I think that's interesting, because not only are you helping people in like real life physically, but you're able to make money and monetize on the digital side. And even though it's 2025, there's still hella a lot of people that have no idea how to make digital money, or that digital money exists. So talk about your journey with that, and how you're able to make digital money.
So I always tell people a digital product, a digital service, because that's how we got started. She was doing resumes, and that's technically a digital product. So she ain't have a job, but she had a skill of helping people get jobs. I always tell people, stop feeling like a fraud, because just because you might not have got yourself the result, you might have the information to help somebody get the result. So start taking action. So that was the first digital product we were selling. We were selling resumes, help people get new jobs and stuff like that. So that's one of the first ones. We took that skill, help people get new jobs, and we got paid like $200 to $500 a resume.
But how'd you make it a digital product though? Because I'm pretty sure people are not understanding. You're helping people with the resume.
Yeah.
They can see that's I'm actually helping you. I might sit down with you, might be on a phone call.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But how does that translate into digital money?
Okay, so it turns into digital money because we're not physically there. We do it when we want to do it. And you can use your computer to make the product. So with the resume, all she would use is Microsoft Word and Canva. So she would use two softwares that are both free. And I don't think Microsoft Word free no more, but we got it free using the YouTube. But yeah, you use Microsoft Word and Canva, and she was making digital products. But that was like 10 years ago, so it's way easier to do now. So you could go straight to Canva, make your whole ebook. You could get ChatGPT to cook up your product. But that's what we was doing. We was helping people with resumes.
So on the digital side, it's actual ebooks, and then coaching program.
So yeah, I help people with ebook. I don't really do ebooks no more because I want to give people more value.
Got you.
So if somebody buy an ebook from me, it's probably gonna come with videos.
Yeah, okay,
it's gonna come with ebook. It's gonna come with a community.
It's gonna be like a little bundle.
Exactly. So I try to give them way more than they paid for, so they feel like, oh damn, this guy going crazy.
That makes sense. And then I noticed that you do this weekly webinar.
Yes, sir.
So break that down to me.
So on Thursday nights, I teach you guys how to turn your credit to cash, how to turn bad credit to six figures, and then also how to get your LLC funded anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 in funding.
So you use that model to educate and speak to people like in an online classroom setting. and then they have the opportunity to work with you in
Yup.
another capacity?
Yep. So at the end, I told them, hey, look, if you loved working with me for the last hour, last 2 hours, I'm pretty sure you loved it. If you want to learn how to work with me for the next 3 to 6 months, then I'll give them the, I'll tell them how they could do that.
And then is that a digital product too?
I mean, yes and no, because I'm not physically there. I'm running the business straight from my phone. So I do live classes with them where I'm breaking down how I make content. I'm breaking down how we go get funding from the banks. And I usually do those on like my iPad or my laptop. But I do it from wherever I could do. I could be in Dubai, I could be in New York, I could be in my living room, I could be in my home office. So it's digital because of where I can be. I don't gotta be in their living room.
So how much, bro, would you say you made on the digital side?
Digital side,
Like last year?
last year, over 100,000.
So, okay, hold up, bro.
And that's just off of like digital products. That's not me doing coaching or funding.
So hold on a second. The average American makes just about 60. And they gotta go spend 40 plus hours a week physically,
Yeah.
like exerting energy. And you found out how you can make 6 figures, right? Not entry level, like good 6 figures using your phone, Wi-Fi, iPad, laptop.
You don't need much. That's why they call me smartphone billionaire. Look, I learned how to make money off my smartphone.
Why aren't other people doing this, John?
They don't know what they don't know. They think everybody on Instagram is a TikToker or a dancer or, they not really realizing that their social media could be a gold mine.
So do you feel like if someone has a smartphone, everyone should be making some type of money on it?
Yeah, because we all got our own personality. So people love you for being who you are, and they'll want to shop with you for that reason.
So if someone's not making at least, what would you say, a month on it?
Something to at least pay one bill, so like $1,000.
All right. So if someone's watching this right now or listening to this right now and they're not making at least $1,000, what they need to do? Get a phone back or something?
They need to give it to me, and I'm gonna help them make some money. But now, if you're not making no money off your phone and you don't want to do like DoorDash or Instacart, because those are apps you can go download right now and start making some money, then I would tell you to go to ChatGPT and go to YouTube. Matter of fact, you can't make money unless you got a skill. So that's why you got to do DoorDash first, because now you can make money while you don't have any skills. Then you can invest that money you just made in DoorDash into learning a skill like credit repair, business funding, online coaching, content creation, running ads. Then once you start executing, getting yourself results, you shouldn't need to sell digital products. But if you want to sell digital products, now you can teach people how they can make money doing what you do.
So everybody needs at least to be making 1,000. If they're not making 1,000, then something's wrong.
Yeah, and most people not making $1,000 because they're not going out there and learning something. You can't sell what you don't know. You can't help a person if you haven't helped yourself.
That's a
so
fact.
that's why you got to figure out, how can I help myself so I can get some information that most people don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like, honestly, I hope it made someone feel upset or damn near offended, because I feel like that might be the energy that they needed to execute and take some action.
They should be offended.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why, I always, like, me and like immigrants, we always become good friends because they action takers. They come to this country and they get it popping. They own businesses. They start progressing not only for their generation but the next generation. But we still talking about the hood. We still talking about racism. We still talking about all of these things that don't affect us financially in 2025. So get off your ass and start taking action is the easiest way to become successful in America.
What was your relationship like with your father?
Me and my dad, we had an okay relationship until my grandmother died. That's when our relationship kind of got rocky.
And what year was that? Like how long?
I was
long
8.
Was that? So you was 8.
Yeah,
So how old are you now?
31.
Are y'all tapped in? Or y'all still have a little
we not
disjointed
tapped in yet.
situation? So it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I haven't talked to him since I was in the 7th grade. I think I was 11.
It's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, 20 years, bro.
So you think that he need to make the first move or you need to make it?
Honestly,
Are you-
I don't have any hatred in my heart,
Yeah.
like towards him. Like if I seen my dad, I'd be like, "What up, pops?" Like
Yeah.
I love my dad. He made me who I am. So it's not like I just don't know how to find him. You know what I'm saying? He's not really on social media. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
so Pops is MIA right now.
Yeah, but people know how to find them. You know what
Gotcha.
I'm saying? Like, you know how people from New York hang around certain people. So if I could find that one person he hang around, then
Yeah.
I could probably find him.
Is that something you want to do?
Probably for my son, but not really for me because it's kind of like I don't feel like I need it.
Would you feel a way if something happened to him, like if he passed or something?
I don't know.
There's nothing inside you right now that's like, yo, I gotta go find my dad.
Nah.
What do you feel like you wish you would have learned from your dad, like that gap of time between 11 and now? What are some of the things that you wish you would have learned from him, or how would you have liked to have that relationship?
I mean, I would have loved to have had that relationship, but not having a relationship was enough of a relationship because I got to learn from him not being there. So
Yeah.
I got to learn like, nah, that's not cool. It's not that hard to communicate. It's not that hard to be present, especially as a father now. It's kind of like I always got to tell myself that I don't want to be better than my dad because that's too easy. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
ain't do much.
Facts.
So I don't really have any like resentment towards him, but it's just kind of like you kind of made your bed, you know what I'm saying? And my life and my mom's life was hard for no reason. So the one thing I wish he would have did is kind of like teach me how to deal with my emotion since I'm a young man growing up with my mom and she don't know how to deal with a young man. So she's a woman herself. Because once I learned how to deal with my emotion, then I was able to start executing because the only thing that keep you from executing is kind of like feeling like, damn, bro, like everything I do don't work, or these motherfuckers ain't fucking with me, or shit, I ain't got no help, I ain't got no support. So if he'd have kind of taught me how to stop feeling sorry for myself and kind of take those things and become victorious anyway.
Yeah.
Because I heard Kobe Bryant say this one thing in his quote. He said after he lost a game, this is when he started taking basketball serious, or he knew he could get like go crazy. And he said after he lost a game, he went to his parents and they said, "We still love you. No matter if you win or you lose, we're gonna be here for you." He said that moment right there allowed him to know that it's gonna be okay. He could go out there and, you know, try to be the best person, and even if he failed, people will still love him.
You think if your dad said something to you like that now, would you receive that, or would it not even hit?
I don't know, because it's like I don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? Like I built myself up from the ground up, so it's kind of like whatever you tune into, you turn into. So I remember there would be years when I wouldn't be listening to music. I'd be listening to audio books.
Yeah.
I'd be listening to personal development. I'd be feeding my spirit, feeding my mind. So it's kind of like I got a bulletproof mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anything he could do would make me a better person or a worse person.
What are some of the things that your dad taught you by not being present that you know that you're going to teach your son?
My dad was fly. So one thing, he was fly. You know, he's from New York, so he was super fly. So he cared about how he looked. He cared about how people treated him. He cared about those kind of things. So that's something that I learned from him. And he was also an artist. So that's kind of like probably where I get some of my creative spirit, because he had like his own website where it was kind of raunchy though. He used to get girls that come to his house and he would take like kind of like OnlyFans style pictures of them back in the day.
Your pops was a, you know what I'm saying, pioneer.
Yeah, he was a finesser. His website was called enterbrainment.net back in the day, right?
Okay.
So like he was cool, you know what I'm saying? He was creative. He was like a hustler in that aspect. So it's like I picked those things up.
What about your son now? Right? Because your relationship with your dad, obviously he was present early in your life, but then he wasn't. So the reason why I'm asking you this is because my dad wasn't in my life either. Like he was, I think the last time I saw my dad, I might have been like 6, right? And then
Is he still alive?
now he passed away.
Oh,
but I remember I appreciate that. I remember he used to always say he about to come through, and we live like a town apart. You know what I'm saying? I stayed at my grandma's crib, and I would always be on the stoop waiting for him to come, and he just would never come. You know what I'm saying? But there's things that we learn from people not being present. So what are the things? What are a couple of things you feel like you learned from him not being around that have become positive that you know you can instill in your son?
That it don't take much. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad used to do the same thing. He would call me in August and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you this gift. I'm gonna get you that gift for Christmas." And then Christmas would come, he MIA. So like he used to do that every year.
He had two. It was too long of a gap. You know what I'm saying? He forgot.
He forgot, right? Nah, though. But he should have called me like October then.
Yeah, facts.
But I mean, learning from him in his absence, like I told you, it really wasn't like anything I really learned from him while he wasn't there, because I was watching my mom and I was able to see her struggles right away, which is like, oh shit, like I gotta lock in. I can't keep switching careers. I can't keep doing new things every year. So that's kind of like what I was learning, because I couldn't really learn anything from my dad just because he wasn't really there. That kind of like is significant, to be honest with you, because we were struggling. I ain't had no time to be thinking about pops. I'm thinking about, all right, like how can I get some money and I'm 8 years old? How can I get some money? I'm 9 years old. How can I get some money? I'm 12 years old. So, how can I make things easier for my mom? So that's the only thing I learned from him was how to hustle because he made my life harder.
He didn't do it.
Yeah, so I had to figure it out.
Nah. That makes a lot of sense. Honestly, yo. I can understand that for sure. And I think I kind of share a little bit of that sentiment. So what about your mom? Like, obviously your mom was there.
Yeah.
Right? What are some of the things that you learned from her? But then what were also some of the things maybe she couldn't teach you because she's not your dad?
I learned never give up. Like my mom never gave up. Even though we were struggling, she never just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to just say nothing or just turn you to the streets or just stop caring. So like even if my mom didn't make money, she would find a way to make money. Even if my mom didn't have it, she would find a way to have it. If my mom ain't have it, she would try to find somebody that had it or do something she could to make sure we had it. So it kind of just gave me that killer spirit that just let me know, like, if I really want something, I could go get it.
Yeah, man. Moms is strong, bro. And it's interesting because, like, you can learn, because I was raised by, like, my grandmother and my aunt and my mom because my mom passed away, too. So when my mom was around. So I grew up in a house full of women. But it's like they can teach you so much and they can love on you so much.
Yeah.
But there's still so much they
yeah.
can't.
Yeah, emotional. Everything emotional. Like my mom still to this day, she emotional. So one thing she didn't teach me was like I told you, my dad didn't teach me how to
control your emotions.
Control my emotions.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that, she can't really teach me because she's still trying to control her emotions as a woman.
Facts. And that gets really interesting, man, because I'm thinking back to there was several times when, because you mentioned earlier about controlling your emotions, but there were several times I would like be in a heated situation and I just couldn't control my emotions, like punching walls, throwing things, breaking things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then afterward, I would feel bad about it, but I would always ask God to like put me in a situation where I could control my emotions. And then I would get mad because I'm like, damn, I blew it again. So I asked for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then eventually I got it. But I think like that's really control. Once you get to that point where you can like have a conversation with someone and like talk to them, directly, express yourself, but not be emotional.
Yeah.
You're the strongest person in the room. You're the strongest person in that conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, bro, who you talking to? Why are you talking to me like that? This is,
I always tell people,
what I mean?
if you learn how to say anything, you can say everything.
100%. 100%. So you learn a skill. I'm fascinated with it because I remember when I started to learn how to make money with the phone and make money online. So you learn this skill. You're impacting so many people. You're continuing to level up and invest in yourself. You got the bulletproof mindset. You're executing at a high level. What are some of the things that you want to do now that you're helping so many people, right? Because you're in a position now that you can impact, inspire, change people's lives. So how does that feel for you? And then what are some of the things that you actually want to do?
Yeah, I want to give back in a lot of ways by like starting like centers where we teach people the stuff that I know, like struggling.
So digital
parents.
center or physical?
Honestly, both.
Okay.
Digitally, I kind of already do that every Thursday. I love when the people, I be giving them so much game. And, a lot of my mentors be like, bro, you giving them too much sauce on there. You giving them too much sauce. But I'm like, they need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can affect 2 people on here and they really go out there and execute, that's better than making money. I'm going to make the money because I know how to post content. I know how to get customers for my businesses versus I need coaching students or I need mentors or mentees. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I be on there giving them so much game, like telling them, hey, don't use your credit this way. Use it this way. This how you set up the business. This how you build banking relationships. Like I be giving them so much game so that they could literally leave there, go get some results, and start changing their life. But I want to do that in person for like, at-risk people. So people who live in the hood, people who used to be strung out so that they can learn how to repair their credit. They can learn how to get funding and they can learn how to change their life too.
What do you feel like you need to do that? Or have you already started doing that?
I just need a little bit more time.
Okay.
So keep doing the foundational work so that I can already have teams in place so that my businesses are always running, making money.
Yep.
So that I could go build another team to build a business that's not making money, because that thing is probably going to be like more nonprofit, cost us a lot of money a month versus bringing in money.
Do you think that you could start doing that by way of speaking at correctional centers?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, correctional facilities and things like that?
Yeah, 100%.
Is that something that you've already done or something?
No, I haven't done it. I have spoken at schools and kind of like small events, but I haven't been to any prisons.
Mm.
And I would love to go to one because my mom used to be locked up.
I think that would be fire, bro.
Yeah, you
know
just
what
gave
I'm
me
saying?
an idea.
Yeah, I think that would be fire. Then like with your knowledge and expertise, you can create a whole campaign around that.
Yeah, people be in jail making money.
That's what I'm saying. That's that's dope.
Yeah.
I think you should definitely do that. And there's so many of them, you know what I mean? Like even in Florida, I know because I go to this church called VU in Miami, and they have several different locations plus online where they'll do the services. And then one of the relationships that he created was with Everglades Correctional Facility.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to broadcast the services every Sunday to the correctional facility. So it made me think, and that's why I kind of brought it up to you. It's like if you build a relationship like that, you have a direct line into people that actually are looking for the help, and then you're the one that they're help. I mean, you're the one that's able to really help them, and you can make that impact in person and online.
Yeah.
Right. And when those people come out, bro, their life would 100% be changed.
Yeah.
Because you're already giving them the tools and the sauce that they need, and or at least the mindset to put them in position. And if some of the individuals are getting out, they really have the trajectory that didn't exist before.
Yeah, people be in jail watching my content. They DM me all of the time talking about, bro, I just got my LLC set up. Bro, my baby mama back home working on my credit. She's sending out letters. Bro, I just got approved for this. And I be like, damn, that's what's up. And it make me mad at the people that's home. Because I'm like, damn, bro, how this person locked up and they taking more action than you, and you at home, but you still locked up in your head.
Bro, because sometimes you need to get locked up.
You been locked up before?
I have.
So you had to be locked up.
I have. I mean, bro, I was locked up over some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was only locked up for like a little less than a day. It felt way longer.
Oh, okay.
Like I was locked up for 18 hours, but it was over in New York, and it was overnight. I slept on a sandwich because I wanted to put my head on the slab. But I feel like you have to go through something uncomfortable or something hard or something that's gonna force you to do something differently so you can get the message.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? And it's interesting that it's like that, right? I guess they call it like the law of polarity, where it's like if you're going through something bad, it's the same energy field of you going through something good. You're just on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So you need to get on this side of it. But no matter how successful that you are or maybe unsuccessful, it's literally the same thing. It's just an emotion.
Yeah.
So you could be going through something bad and you could trick your mind like, yo, we're going through something good right now.
Yeah.
And then your mind thinks you're going to do something good. So it's gonna project more goodness.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be going through something bad and continue to stay on that and dwell on that, and you're gonna stay in that frequency.
Yeah.
Right? So even if you are doing something successful, you're gonna be met with challenges.
Absolutely.
Right? Just the next challenge is on that next level. So now you got to push past that resistance to get to your goal. And I think people that end up locked up are people that end up losing people or people that end up being in like tougher situations. There's that lesson in it. There's that message in there that you got to get for you to now to become. And then once you become, you can go back and help other people.
Nah, that's facts.
You know what I mean? So I think,
I was able to learn from my mom. She got locked up, so I didn't have to.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. I remember I was like, damn, I never not that I was like, I need to be locked up, but I was like, yo, I made it. Like, I never been locked up. And then I got locked up over like a parking ticket.
Nah, that's
in
funny.
New York. Some crazy, like stupid shit.
I remember my stepfather, he locked me up when I was in like elementary school because he was like a juvenile correctional officer.
Oh, so he threw you in there?
I got caught stealing at Toys R Us with one of my
word?
homeboys. He straight took me there, put me in a cell, gave me a bag lunch, and left me in there for a few hours. Then when I went home, he spanked me, and then my mama spanked me. So I ain't steal never again.
You was like, yo, I ain't never doing that again.
I ain't stealing.
Man, yo, I definitely want to see you, bro. I want to see you do that. Hopefully, sometime this year, you can take advantage of an opportunity, or maybe one will come to you, or you create your own opportunity where you can teach some men that are in a correctional facility what they need to learn as far as their credit, mindset, funding, just an understanding. So when they get out, they can now impact some other people where you can really just change their lives. I think that'd be super dope for you.
Nah, I'm
You
gonna
know
try
what I'm
that out. Well, I ain't gonna try. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and then you're gonna flip it with the content.
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I mean? Right now we outside. You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying?
get content for them and me. They gonna have followers by the time they get out.
Facts, bro. Facts. So, what are like 3 things you want to accomplish in this year? We're moving into March. March is the 3rd month, so that means we got about 9 months left. Joints moving fast.
Nah, facts.
So, if you had to like name 3 things specifically, you definitely have to accomplish before we move into 2026. What are some of the things you really want to work on getting done, or what are things you're gonna get done?
My goal this year is to help fund $10 million to small businesses. So
So $10 million of funding.
Yep.
Small
So
business.
that's one of my goals. Another goal is to help 20 people make 6 figures this year.
I like that.
And then to get 2 more investment properties.
I like that. I think about joining you on the help 20 people make 6 figures in that podcast space. I think that'd be dope.
Nah, facts.
So I like that. And then grab 2 more properties. Do the properties have to be in a specific space, or just if the numbers make sense?
Just good deals, just like
Yeah.
the one we got in South Carolina. Really
Yeah.
good deals. A duplex. We got it for $20,000. It's right by college.
Yeah.
So we got it for the low. We probably refinance, pull out money out, pull out some profits, put that into another property, and then have cash flow when we renting out each unit, probably to some college kids. And then we start.
you wanna do that through collaboration again, or
I would love to keep doing collaboration because it mitigates the risk.
Yep.
And real estate is slow. So a lot of people would tell you do real estate, but they don't tell you real estate is more of a way to build wealth versus a way to get rich fast.
Yep.
So that's why I do it. I do it to build silent wealth on the back end.
I like that. All right, man. So we got to get into a couple of myths real quick. So let's talk about some credit myths and some funding myths. Let's give some people some information that can actually make some impact and maybe surprise them at the same time. So with credit, what are some things people have heard about credit? Could be online, could be social media. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely, let's say, false or misleading.
So with personal credit, a lot of people tell you that you can get funding with bad personal credit, and that's a lie. That's why a lot of people think that they can avoid it because there's so much misinformation about how you can still progress with bad credit.
So basically, I can have bad credit and I can still get access to funding. So that's a lie.
Yes, cap.
Yeah, okay,
Or if you do get funding, it's predatory. It's like payday loan type of stuff.
Got you. What about when it comes to my actual credit report, right?
Oh, okay. So a lot of people think their credit score is a determining factor when it comes to getting funding. But banks don't look at your score, they look at your profile. It's like a new construction house versus a brick house. Obviously, you would want the new construction because it looks cleaner. But then once you realize it's not as sturdy, it's not as foundational, it's not going to last as long as a brick house, then you wish you bought a brick house. And that's how your score is versus your profile. So you want to make sure you're building a profile. And I'm going to teach you guys how to build your profile real quick. So if you want to get funding from the banks on the personal side, you need to have at least 10 accounts reporting. You want to make sure you got a credit mix of credit cards and installment loans. You want to make sure that your credit age is around 3 to 4 years. And you want to make sure that you don't got too many inquiries. If you got that profile right there, you could go get your first 50 to 100,000 on the personal side. Now, if you want to get business funding, the only thing you want to do is make sure that you got 2 credit cards that have at least $2,000 limits on the personal side before you go to the business side. If you meet those requirements, I can help you get funding, or you can try to figure it out yourself.
Word. That was good sauce right there. So funding. What's the myth that people need to be busted about funding?
They don't realize they could get funding without showing any proof of income, no tax returns, no collateral. You could get funding literally for 0% interest at that for anywhere from 12 to 18 months.
That's heavy. Now, what about a sequence when it comes to funding, right? So someone's like, yeah, bro, yeah, you can help me and everything, but I don't need your help. I'm going to just go running up on the bank on my own. What's the pros and cons to that?
The pros are obviously you're going to learn. And the cons are you're going to learn because you're not going to be getting the highest limits. You might even get denied and you're qualified. So I would tell people, just because you got an 800 credit score, you feel like you know it all. If you want to get the best results, get with somebody who's getting their clients the best results so you don't waste your relationships.
Is there anything that you've seen online about funding that you know is getting a lot of exposure. A lot of people are hearing this message that it's not true, it's false.
The EIN only stuff.
Mm.
So like a lot of people say, oh, you can get funding with your EIN only, but they're not telling you the type of funding. And it's not a funding people mostly want. You don't just want store cards. And a lot of y'all don't realize how much money you're going to have to spend before you're even eligible to start doing that stuff.
I like that. Okay. What about the credit card stacking game?
Credit card stacking? What about it?
Break that down, because a lot of people probably don't even know. They got one credit card, two credit cards, max.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe they heard that credit's bad. I shouldn't go get credit cards. So break down the credit stacking.
So the reason why you want a credit stack is, like I told you earlier, banks use a system called comparable lending. So before they give you a lot of funding on the business side, they want to see that you got comparable credit on the personal side. So what credit stacking allows you to do is it gives you that comparable credit to go get more funding. So all credit stacking is finding what bank gives out what funding and going and applying. And to give you a little bit more sauce, what credit stacking really is knowing the bank, knowing where they pull from, and then knowing what product you want to get. So if you can apply to 3 banks that pull from TransUnion, 3 banks that pull from Equifax, and 3 banks that pull from Experian, you could do this on the personal and the business side. Now you could get anywhere from 50 to 100,000 personal, and then another 100 to 200,000 on the business side.
Is it, or would you advise someone do credit stacking on multiple LLCs?
Yeah, I always tell people you don't need all of this funding. Some of y'all only need 20,000. Some of y'all don't have these extravagant ideas.
Like they don't know what to do with the money.
Yeah, so it's like if you get access to 20,000, you can set up the podcast. You could go get yourself an Airbnb. You can get a property just like I did. Me and my homegirl, we got the property for just $20,000. I also got another property out in Detroit for just $3,000. So you don't need a lot of capital to get started. But if you want a lot of capital, definitely use LLCs, because every LLC can get you anywhere from 50 to 200,000 in funding.
And that's how you can really run it up to like a million plus in funding.
Yeah.
So I heard you say this earlier. Yeah, I might have heard you say it with Leo, but I think I also heard you say it online that credit's really a glitch in the system. So what do you mean by that specifically?
Because I used to be a broke DoorDasher. Once I learned about credit, I was able to charge myself up because it's a glitch. So now I could afford to do the things that I knew I could do, like run ads. I could get a better website. I could get inventory, and I could start making money without being the face of the brand or even knowing what I'm doing at first, because now I could take that credit and hire people who know what they're doing and start getting results from our company.
Got you. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple of final questions, bro. So I like to ask people, if there was one person, right, they could be alive or dead, that you could really help change their life. It could be a celebrity, superhero, you know what I'm saying? It could be, maybe even someone, that might be an engineer, just anyone. This person has bad credit. Who is the individual that you would love to really help fix their credit, get them access to funding, and then, help them invest in something?
So the first person I did do this with was my mother. So we fixed her credit. We got her some funding from Navy Fed. And now we're figuring out how can we use that funding to build her a dream life that, she don't got to walk away from. But somebody who isn't alive, I would definitely say my grandmother.
I like that.
Just because she's from New York, so I used to watch my grandma get up every single day, no matter how cold it was or what the streets had going on outside. She had to get up, get on the train, go to her job, and sometimes she didn't get home till it was dark. And then she was on an oxygen machine, so it was like I saw how not having a lot of income affected her. Then it affected my relationship with my father. So she would be the person I would definitely put on some credit.
If you could work anywhere, like you take your son out the country, your lady out the country, set up for like 6 months, where would you like to work and make an impact? And again, you're still
anywhere
working
in the country.
Yeah, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, anywhere in the world.
And you're working online.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you just working from this remote spot. Where would it be?
I mean, I used to already live kind of by the beach, so that's probably what I would do. Go to some island, probably in Bali or everywhere. Honestly, I can't think of one place just because there's so many beautiful places.
You ain't got no dream spot?
They are my dream spots. Like I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Bali. I want to go to all of these places.
Do you know your origin? Like where your family's from originally?
We Black Irish.
Where's the black from?
Huh?
Where's the black from?
Black?
Yeah,
My great grandfather.
but where's the black from? Because black's not a place.
Nah.
Ireland's a spot.
Yeah.
But where's the black from?
New York.
So I remember I asked my grandmother the same thing. I'm like, yo, where we from or whatever? Because like black's not a spot, like, you know. She was like, oh, we're from the South. I'm like, where? Like, oh, we're from New Jersey in Atlanta. I'm like, okay, but from where? Like, you know. So I ended up doing 23andMe, and I found out that I got the Irish in there, I got the Scottish in there, and then I got some the majority is Nigerian. You know what I mean? So, dude, do you know?
Nah, I got to do one of
Yeah,
those.
you gotta figure that out.
How much they cost? Like a 200?
23andMe? Yeah, it's like $199.
Yeah, I got to try it out.
No, you gotta do that joint. It's worth it. Like even if it's not 100% accurate, it at least give you some context. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of your DNA is from this region of the world.
I just never really thought about it because I
Yeah.
guess I've seen so many generations of my family. So I'm like, oh, I look like these guys. I already know what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah. But I mean, it's a different thing, bro. Because if you think about it, we're detached from our culture.
Yeah.
We don't speak our language. We don't know our family's heritage. We don't know if we had a creed or colors. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the dance, you know what I'm saying? If we come from and they had a certain dance, certain swag, you know, we don't know like the way they used to dress. What was our native foods?
Nah, that's fact.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know nothing. And we're speaking a language that we think is the right language just because we grew up in this country, but it's not even our language.
Yeah,
It's not even our native tongue. So I definitely gotta go to Scotland just because I know that I got that in me.
Yeah.
And then Ireland because I know I got that in me too. But then Nigeria because I feel like when I touch that soil, I might. You mentioned earlier like you get charged up, so I feel like I might get charged up or something.
Nah, for sure.
You gotta go grounding like where you from. It's different because like I remember dating women and I date women from like different countries and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going home. And like they know where home's at. And I'm like,
Let's talk about that. So you say
I don't
you
know where my home's at.
you like dating different cultures.
Yeah.
What culture do you like the most?
It varies, bro. I remember when I think about it, when I grew up, I used to always date just like light-skinned black women. You know what I'm saying? When I was in high school. Then it moved to like Cape Verdean. You know Cape Verdean women?
Yeah.
So for Africa, you know what I'm saying, from the island Cape Verde. Then it transitioned to like Latin women, you know. Then it was like Asian women, you know. And then I kind of stayed in that pocket, like Asian, Latin, and then like Middle Eastern. So now it's just like I just like exotic, you know what I'm saying? Just something that looks, it got a look to it.
So
Something
what you
look
mean
different.
exotic, like BBL or kind of like?
Nah. That's aesthetic. That's aesthetic. No. Like I just like a woman that looks like if we're just talking about on the outside, I like a woman that looks interesting.
Okay.
You know, like she stands out. She had a nice face.
Give me
good,
a celebrity,
good features.
somebody that
resonates.
resonates.
I'm trying to think. I don't even be tapped into the celebrities like that. I'm trying to think.
Like a Janae Aiko.
Yeah, I mean, she's cool. I'm trying to think. Who got some strong features, bro? Who would I be like, I want to step out with right now? I don't know, because I don't be tapped into the celebrities. I don't even be, you know what I'm saying? But I just like features, you know what I'm saying? Like the girl I used to date, she was El Salvadorian and Chilean.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She had strong cheekbones. She had really nice eyes. It's like I like features. I don't know. But I love the inside. So the features might draw me.
Yeah.
But then when I see what's going on in there, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, you know what I mean? So now it's like it being attracted to someone physically is great, but what's her character like? You know, how does she treat people? You know, can we communicate?
Facts.
You know, is she open to being loved and led? You know what I'm saying? Can she commit? Like I went to church today, and it's funny because I went with a friend of mine, and church right now is in a 4-part series. Today was part 2 of relationships, but they call it relation tips. And then today, the pastor was talking about like the principles, like some of like the pillars of like a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to her before church, and she was like, "It's so." He just so happened to be kind of talking like what we was talking about, but she asked me like what are like some of my like top things in a relationship, and one of the number one things I said was commitment, because it's like right now we're committed to each other right now. You're committed to being in the seat. I am too. Do the podcast. If the lights went out, we still gonna do the pod. If a camera went out, we still doing the pod. If the mic went out, we still doing the pod. We're committed to doing the podcast, and I feel like nowadays people aren't committed to being in something.
Yeah.
So as soon as something happens, they're willing to hit the abort button or the eject button because it's uncomfortable. So my biggest thing is commitment. So if I can, if you know the lady that I'm with, I need to know that she's committed to the mission, because if I know that she's committed to the mission, because men we like respect and we like appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need the validation, but I just need to know that I'm appreciated. And not only am I gonna give you what's authentically me, I'm gonna go out and do more.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're committed, and I know that you appreciate it, and I know that I'm respected. So I'm gonna take care of everything else. But if the commitment ain't there, then it's like, what can we do, bro? Because now I can't be comfortable navigating because any little thing can happen, you want to get out.
Nah, facts.
And I feel like that's what people are doing nowadays. So I think commitment will be number one for sure.
That's what they do in business and relationships. They think everything gonna be easy.
Yeah.
And then as soon as something hard, they on to the next thing.
But people don't approach relationships like business, which I feel like they should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like they should. Now, you're not going to operate obviously the same way, but there's still certain pillars that could be parallel, right? You open up the LLC, you structure it right. Okay, I'm gonna get into this relationship. We're gonna structure it right.
Yeah.
Me and you in business. What's your communication style? What's mine? Are we meeting on Mondays at 9 a.m.? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are
we doing a P&L? You know what I'm saying? What's our flow? So I kind of vibe with I don't know a couple, but they have put some content out where he's like, yeah, every month, me and my girl, we do like, you know, a relationship, like, you know, recap.
Okay.
You know, how was February? Did you do what you want to do? Did I do we, you know what I'm saying? Do we do everything?
Nah, that's cool.
Did I miss a date night or something? You know what I'm saying? Because now you're doing a maintenance. So if you're committed to doing you're gonna be successful.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean y'all not gonna hit or experience obstacles? Of course not. But it's like, if me and you are friends, and I know you used to hoop. I don't know if you still hoop. I used to hoop. I don't hoop no more. But me and you are hooping, and we get into some. We it's competitive. So let's say I strip you or you strip me or something, or maybe it's a hard foul, and then me, like, the testosterone's up. We damn near about to fight, but it's competitive. But the game's over. I'm like, bro, you trying to eat?
Yep.
I drove us there, vice versa. It's your turn. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's your turn to pay for the food. When do we back to the crib?
Yeah.
Because we're committed to it. We ain't gonna let that happen, which was like a moment, like cancel out the whole friendship. And I think that's really the biggest thing now, which also makes it hard to establish real relationships.
Yeah.
With people or with a partner.
Yeah, most people don't want conflict.
Yeah, bro.
They just want to avoid.
They don't want the smoke. They want the smoke, but they don't want the smoke.
Yeah, they want to avoid.
You know what I'm saying?
I
They
can't
wanna
stand
avoid.
those kind of people. I like being real. I like being my authentic self with people. And you can tell when people accept that, because so many people used to being lied to. They used to just being told what they want to hear.
Yeah.
That when you get around somebody with real energy, it's kind of like they feel like you exposing them in a sense when really you just trying to help them.
Yeah, facts, bro. And I don't know the phrase exactly, but it's like when people get exposed to themselves or get exposed or get exposed to whatever, they tend to